BBC Television presents...
Hancock.
Are you having a bit of a tidy up, Sid?
Yeah, just clearing up the attic. There's a lot of rubbish up there. It's a bit tidier now.
Sid James, actually working. That's not like you. Must be the coronavirus.
You know me. I like to feel useful every now and again. I like to pay me way, give a little something back and all that.
First I've heard of it. I sense an ulterior motive. You've cleared the attic out, so what are you storing up there instead?
Nothing.
And if I go up there and have a look, what will I find?
Just some old copper pipe.
How much old copper pipe?
Just over 5,000 knickers worth, give or take.
Give or take. Take more like it's stolen, isn't it? Hang on, Sid. Let's have a look at what you're about to chuck out.
It's nothing important, just a dirty old pile of papers I found up there.
Anthony by... I can't quite read it. Jane Austen. Jane Austen, Sid, the star of Mary Poppins.
You're thinking of Julie Andrews. Someone just copied her stuff out, I expect. I'll throw it away. It was getting in the way of all the copper pipe.
Leave it there, Sid. Don't touch it. I'll Google it online, just in case it's worth a few bob. That dirty old pile of papers is an original manuscript by Jane Austen, the author of Pride and Prejudice. You know, Sid, Mr. Darcy and all that. There is, I believe, in every disposition, a tendency to some particular evil, a natural deficit, which not even the best education can overcome. He could have been talking about you, Sid.
So very much. I know Pride and Prejudice. I watched it on TV once, but I fell asleep.
Well, that's because you're a Philistine, Sid. Too highbrow for your lowbrow winkles, mate. Or wrinkles, mate.
I don't know. I played a vicar once in some play, but you wouldn't believe what went on in the vestry.
Yes, but please don't tell me. I'd rather not be left mentally scarred. This is amazing, Sid. A new Jane Austen novel. It must have been written here. I've been doing a bit of research, and before the railway was built, railway cuttings was the site of a coaching inn and some grand houses. Jane Austen must have been down here on the tour of Surrey to get some inspiration for her new novel.
You mean to tell me number 23 railway cuttings used to be a big house or a coaching inn?
Well, not exactly, Sid. I looked up some old plans. I think number 23 was either a big house, a coaching inn, or an outside toilet.
Outside toilet, that's more like it. So Jane Austen was reading her new novel on the toilet and put it down, and it's been there ever since.
Yes, I can see it all now. Jane Austen, lost in thought, clutching her beloved manuscript to her bosom, and put it on top of the cistern in order to pick up some, loo paper, and forgot it.
Yeah, we've all done it, Hancock.
Have we? Anyway, Jane Austen's Anthony is set in the village of East Cheam. Get it, Sid? East Cheam. That's us, East Cheam. She used East Cheam as the basis of her fictional village.
This will really put us on the map, Hancock. There'll be tourists here. That's 20 quid a head, 6 days a week.
Yes. There's other ways of making money out of this, Sid. Let's get the rest of the half-hour team over. This is going to make us all rich. We'll get a BAFTA for this. We'll put it on the stage. It will be the world premiere of a new Jane Austen play.
Hello, At. You won't believe what we've just turned up. You and Ken get over here. We've just discovered a new Jane Austen novel in the loft at number 23 railway cuttings. Hancock's turning it into a play, and we're all gonna be in it.
Oh, how wonderful, Sid. I'm a big fan of Jane Austen. What's the name of the heroine in this one? Is it Emma? Elizabeth? Fanny, perhaps?
Yeah, Fanny, that's a good idea. No, this one has a hero called Anthony.
Anthony. Oh, well, never mind. And it's International Women's Day as well. We'll be right over, though, Sid. Good evening. Oh, could I speak to a Miss Jane Austen? Oh, is she still in? Or is she like a ghost? I can hear her knocking. Oh, no, it's Sydney's. Lived here? She must have been down on her luck, poor girl.
Yes, Kenneth, this used to be Miss Austen's abode. Well, her outside boudoir, anyway. As you can see, I've been acquainting myself with the role.
But why did Jane Austen live in a toilet? By the way, who are you? I haven't seen you in one of the Carry On films, have I?
For I am Anthony, the eponymous hero of said play. I wouldn't be seen dead in a Carry On film, as you well know. The boot is quite on the other leg, Williams. This is going to be a classy production of a new classic, not a bunch of old has-beens making a cake of themselves.
Oh, I think all this is wonderful, Tony. I've always wanted to act in a Jane Austen play, and now this is my big opportunity.
It's not Tony anymore, fair wench. Please calleth me Anthony. Yes, I'm thinking of using it to take Hancocks Half Hour to a new level.
What, the level above absolute rubbish, you mean? You got any good jokes? Like, I don't mind poncing about him riding boots and buckskin breeches, as you know. As long as it's got some decent jokes. Just like in the Carry On films. Carry On Jane Austen, I'll call this one.
You'll do no such thing. There'll be no jokes, Williams, you rake, and references to the carry-ons are forbidden from now on. We are all swells in this one, except for thee. But every play needs a gabster perchance.
Oh, you know the right words. You've mastered the lingo, Anthony. I think you're just the right man to play the leading man. What about me? I could play the leading man. I could give him a funny voice. People always expect that. The audience will get restless otherwise and start blowing off and rustling bags of popcorn if I don't.
Yeah, nice one, Kenneth. We can have a bit of fun with this, can't we, Hancock?
Absolutely not, Sid. That would be de rigueur.
I quite agree, Atty. I'm sorry, Sid, this might be a little bit too sophisticated for a man of your vulgar taste and appetite.
Look at you, Mr. Hoity-toity.
Well, I'm on your side, Tony. You're obviously playing Anthony exactly as he should be.
I will, in all earnestness, attempt to render my namesake due service, Atty.
What did he say, Sid? I can't understand what he's on about. Has he been drinking? Or have we all been transported back in time to an age when everyone talked rubbish?
I think this Jane Austen thing's gone to his flaming head. He's got ideas above his station. He'll start whipping us with his riding crop any minute. He thinks he's too good for us.
As for you two there, I think Sid should be able to manage the none too taxing part of the butler. His name is Boggs. And Williams, as you are used to playing a rake, you can be the fastidious gardener, old Juniper. You can do a dance with a wheelbarrow.
I'll give you old Juniper. I haven't come all the way over here to be given the part of a gardener. I could have stayed at home and cut the bloody lawn. Dance with a wheelbarrow. I didn't know this was going to be a remake of Mary Bloody Poppins. Looks a mercy, governor, and all that. Well, now you've got those two sorted out, who am I playing, Tony? You see me as the female lead, don't you? Opposite your noble good self, kind sir.
Almost, but not quite. You are in the right ballpark there, though, Hattie. You can portray the female lead's mother, to be precise. A mature woman, a dowager of good character. I don't think the part will vex thee too much. It is as ample one as you are, after all.
Well, who on earth is playing the bloody female lead, then?
I've decided, after much conjecture and thought, that Hortense will be portrayed by none other than the cordial wench in the Carry On films, one Barbara Windsor.
She's taken, Hancock. She's my bird. Hands off. She can help the butler in the Yankee pantry.
I'm sorry, Sydney, because in Anthony by Jane Austen, she's my bird, my wanton.
I found a Jane Austen book, Hancock. You owe me. Leave Babs alone.
Yes, and it would be halfway to landfill by now if it wasn't for me and my discerning eye.
I'm not at all happy about this, Tony. What's Barbara Windsor got that I haven't?
I would tellest thou, but I surmise that Sydney might not be able to swallow his spleen and attempt to render me unconscious with his pugilistic skills.
You can't treat your old friends like this. First time we've got a chance of a decent part, and then you start acting the big impresario. Have you been taking lessons off Harvey Weinstein or something?
We're not asking much. All we want is equal billing. I'm the only one with GCSE in English literature around here, don't forget.
Yes, indeed, Kenneth. I will put your GCSE in English literature to work for us. You can do the prompting at the side of the stage where your loud mouth will penetrate the ear holes of the most hard of hearing.
Can we have the old Hancock back, because Mr. Darcy is getting on me wick. I'll go down the bloody job centre in a minute.
Come on, Hancock, for God's sake, lighten up a bit. You're letting this Jane Austen thing go to your head. You were pompous enough before. The last thing you needed was any help.
Yes, and I'm going to put my bloody foot down, Tony. I'm not playing Barbara Windsor's mum.
Come now, dear old hat. You have become a bit befogged. You are no chit of a girl, and the boot is on the other leg for a dowager, art thee. Anyway, you wouldn't fit into the costumes, love.
How dare you? Are you saying I'm old and fat?
Not old, Hattie, just a bit knocked up, as dear old Jane Austen would say. Don't worry, love, you still make a tempting armful for some older man.
Knocked up? Look here, you old dandy. Either I'm playing the lead or I'm off.
No, I have made up me mind. That part will be played by that bit of muslin, that ladybird, that coquette, Barbara Windsor.
Don't you call Barbara Windsor a cock, Hancock?
Coquette. You'll get the hang of it, Sid. As for myself, I feel quite at home. I should have been around in the Regency period. I'd have fitted in very well, a man of my class and breeding, as you might well understand.
If I was you, Sid, I'd challenge him to a duel and see if he finds that in character. Yes, isn't it? Let's see how good he is at playing Jane Austen's Anthony with a musket born up his arse.
Good idea, Ken. I challenge you to a duel, Hancock. Pistols at dawn on East Cheam Common.
Tisk, tisk, I'm sorry, Sydney. Duelling was banned in 1820. That's 2 years before Jane Austen wrote Anthony. You're too late, mate.
I demand satisfaction. You've offended a lady's honour, Hancock. I'm Barbara Windsor's beau. She's nominated me.
Please refer to me as Anthony, Sydney. It's only Barbara Windsor. A couple of nights with me and she'll forget all about you.
You take that back or I'll knock your block off.
I'll be your second, Sid. I'll be in your corner. We will get satisfaction, all right. Oh, lend me a glove and I'll slap his face for you.
Now just calm down, everyone. Don't get carried away. I can't go on stage covered in sticking plaster, can I? How would I explain it at the Oscars? Oh, the cuts. Oh, yes, Sid James lent me one because he thinks I want to get me leg over Barbara Windsor. That won't go down too well with the Hardy crowd, will it?
I wish I'd never cleaned out that flaming attic. Put that book down and return to planet Earth in the 21st century at East Cheam. That book's taking you over. You're possessed.
No, this old malarkey isn't working for me. I don't want to be a gardener. I don't like soil and mud and dirt. I'll have to keep washing my hands during the play, all that muck and filth. And I'm not ready to play some old bat, whether it's Jane Austen or not.
Then I'll do it as a one-man show. I'll play all the parts if I have to. I'm a versatile actor. I'm not just good at playing myself, you know.
I need some fresh air away from Sir Anthony here. Who's coming down the pub?
Okay, Sid.
So, you're off to get Boskin drunk as a wheelbarrow, are you?
Oh, shut up, Hancock.
Well, if you're going to adopt that sort of attitude, I'm coming too. Who's buying?